Hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Good to see y'all. Oh, I didn't update the record. I always forget something, and tonight it was the record. I'll have to update that. How goes it, everyone? Awesome Dude, Damnation, Admiral Avenger, Blade Master, it's Jackie. Aztec Nemesis? Aztec Nemesis. Good to see everyone. Yeah, I'm excited to try out this deck. It is interesting. So I came across this deck because Sean McLaren, I was playing Free Win Red. I don't think I was recording at the time, but I was playing Free Win Red, and I ran into Sean McLaren in a league, and he was playing this deck. You can actually see his side of the matchup on Star City Games. It was posted in his videos against me playing Free Win Red, and it looked really sweet. So I'm really excited to try it out based on that because it looks pretty awesome. After being very negative to Frontier until now, I really like the idea of it after listening to the podcast today. Love Modern, but hate all the unfair cards. With Frontier, I will not have that problem. Frontier is a really interesting conversation. A conversation that we should have sometime. I have very mixed feelings about Frontier. Oh man. We spent almost the entire podcast talking about it, and I still feel like there's more I could say about it because it is very interesting. Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot. This deck is so janky. Can I make 30 more vids talking about Free Win Red? Yeah, I would love to. I love that deck. That deck is just. I think really, if I look back over all the decks I've made ever since I really started doing this, Free Win Red might be. It's definitely on the list of my all-time favorite decks, right at the very top of my all-time favorite decks. There's a few other ones in the conversation, but I love that deck. It perfectly encapsulates everything I love about making people miserable in a game of Magic. Alright, am I streaming Thursday? So, bad news, everyone. Only one stream this week. Thursday is Thanksgiving here in the U.S., and I have family stuff I gotta do, and grandparents and aunts and uncles and all that stuff. So I don't think I can I can skip that and stream. My family would never let me live it down. It's kind of like a big deal, so no stream on Thursday, but we'll be back to normal next week. So sorry about that, but there's just nothing I can do about this one. If it was like, I don't know, Columbus Day or something, no problem. But Thanksgiving, at least in my family, is one of the big ones. If I miss like Thanksgiving or Christmas, my family would probably kill me. So not much I can do about it. Did I win against Sean? I actually did, and it was it was really hilarious. You should watch the video. I wish I had the link. So Sean, oh, it's so funny. I went and watched the video, and he has no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what he's doing. So if you look at this deck, when we started playing, and we'll do the reminders in a second, but we we started playing, and what I saw Sean play was Suspend Greater Gargadon was the first thing he did. 311! Subscribed 2 months in a row. Awesome! Thank you for your subscription. Welcome again to the Fishmole. 2-month resubscription. Have we really been partnered for that long that we have 2-month resubscribers now? If we are, I think you're the first one, 311. So thank you so much. Let's give a big scoop cheer to our resubscriber. So in the game against Sean, he goes turn 1 Suspend Gargadon, turn 2 Mind Stone, turn 3 Aetherworks Marvel, and for some reason that combination of cards made me think that that he was a Restore Balance deck, because I'm pretty sure that would work. I think cast it with outpaying its mana cost means you can Aetherworks Marvel into Restore Balance, and I kind of still want to do that deck because it sounds awesome. But so for some reason, I was convinced he was playing Restore Balance out from under Aetherworks Marvel. So I was focused on putting like chalices on one, and and you watch Sean's part of the video, and he's like, I have no idea what he's doing. Why is he playing chalice on 0? I don't get it. And he's like, I think this is like our best matchup. We can't lose this matchup. And then I play I play Ensnaring Bridge, and and he looks up his deck list, and he's like, I don't think we could beat that. And he like looks through his sideboard, and he's like, oh, maybe we should have Artifact Destruction in that deck. We literally can't beat a Ensnaring Bridge. So he could not beat Ensnaring Bridge, so we won. That story was probably longer than it needed to be, but it was really funny. So if you get a chance, check out the videos on SCG with Sean McLaren playing this deck against me on Free Win Red. Oh, awesome, dude. 2 months in a row, we're getting all the resubs. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for the resubscription. A big Scoops cheer for... Awesome, dude. Always first when it comes to streaming. Mr. Adaptability, another 2-month resub. Welcome again to the Fishbowl. Big Scoops here for you as well. So... Sean McLaren is actually a Pro Tour winner. Sean McLaren won Pro Tour Avacyn Restored with a Miracles deck in, what would that be? Avacyn Restored, what block was Why can't I think of what block that is? Innistrad? The end of Innistrad block? It was block constructed, and he won a Pro Tour, so he is a pro player, and even a Pro Tour champion. And also a really, just a nice guy, so... How will I know when my resub is due? That's a good question for the chat, actually. Hopefully the chat can help you with that, because I don't rightly know. I think that you get some sort of notification or something. Well, I'm not even, like, trying to get on the Pro Tour, but it would be sweet if it happened. Did I miss a stream last Thursday? You did. We had a stream last Thursday. It was our spell slinging stream. It was super awesome. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber, Ludamat. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. So let's do the reminders, and then we'll get to this deck, and then we'll actually start playing Magic. I got a feeling these matches might go fairly quick, and that means we might get to play some Momir at the end. When you say resub, does that mean you need to pay? My phone pings me back. I am subscribing. I believe that resubscribing... You pay, yes, you pay again because you subscribe by the month, essentially. So after a month, your subscription, you would resubscribe and pay again, or use your Amazon Prime thing again, or however you do it. Another new subscriber, Cold Shoulder. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber, Cold Shoulder. So, reminders, we got to get to the reminders. We're not making any headway. First off, if you want to see old streams, like our spell slinging 10K subscriber celebration stream, which was really fun. I think I lost almost every single match, but it was still really fun. Check out the MTG Goldfish replay YouTube. And then, if you want another way of supporting the site and the channel, check out the merch page. We got tokens and t-shirts. They actually make pretty sweet holiday gifts if you want to give some zombie tokens to your family members. That's what I'm going to do for my family. Not buying you presents this year. Instead, you get a signed Scoops token from me. I'm such a great sibling and son and so forth. They're gonna love it. Steel Wolf, thank you for the resub. Oh, welcome again to the Fishbowl. Big thanks to you. Yes, we got to get to the deck. But first, one more reminder. We can't forget our super awesome stream sponsor, Wizardry Foundry, and they have a Black Friday sale going on. They have a collection up to 50% off some of the sweet Grimoire deck boxes, so make sure to check that out. Also, another raffle, win an Eldritch Moon booster, so big thanks to them. Check out their Black Friday sales. And as I was saying that, we got another new subscriber, Manatee Slaughter. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Got a question: do you enjoy counter magic battles when playing, such as when two control decks batter over important cards like Emrakul, dumping their hand counter magic? I love control decks. When I play competitively and for fun, like not for videos or anything, control decks are sort of what I jump into. So, yes, I do enjoy that style of Magic. I love Drago control. It's one of my favorite ways of playing Magic. So, is there a... what are the benefits for subscribing? So, it is mostly to support the stream and the channel and the site. It's a good way of doing that. You also get access to the emotes, like the Scoops Cheer you see, and there's some other ones, Scoops Punt and so forth. So you get access to that as kind of a reward, but it's mostly for support. So there's small benefits, but the main thing is you're doing it to support the stream. Welcome, Mikey W. Glad to have you. So this deck, let's talk about this deck. Yeah, I like the Panharmonicon deck today too. That was really fun. I don't know if that deck is like super competitive, but it's really fun and really cheap. So, especially if you already have Panharmonicon, it is so cheap. Another new subscriber, they're coming in like crazy today. Aleko, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. So this deck, so we can get in our league, and then we'll have plenty of time to talk about all this fun stuff. This deck is Aetherworks Marvel in Modern. So the basic idea is actually pretty sweet. LOL Doom, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big Scoops cheer for LOL's Doom. So this deck, what it's looking to do is ramp into Aetherworks Marvel with Wall of Roots, with Mind Stone, kind of with a tune to find lands, and then it suspends a Greater Gargadon, and then it can sack out all of its lands to generate energy, the hidden secret mode on Aetherworks Marvel. Whenever a permanent goes into the graveyard, you get an energy. So you suspend this, maybe get a little energy with a Tune with Aether, or, God forbid, a Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot, and then hopefully you can immediately activate Aetherworks Marvel, and then the fun happens. We get to cast things like Worldspine Worm and Emrakul, the Eon Storm, Big Emrakul. And also, as a backup plan, we have Through the Breach, which is a more common way to sneak Emrakul into play. So we can just, like, Tune with Aether into Wall of Roots, and then on, like, a turn 4, whatever, Through the Breach, put an Emrakul into play, win the game. So it looks pretty sweet. I really like the Greater Gargadon combo aspect of the deck. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, Ancient Stirrings helps us find our Aetherworks Marvel, also Mind Stones, lands, Puzzle Knots, Electroshina, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big Scoop cheer for our new subscriber. One of the most unique cards in this entire deck is God's Eye Gate of the Riki, which I'm probably saying horribly wrong, but it's really sweet because you can sack it to Greater Gargadon, get an energy, and then you get a 1/1 Spirit, which you can also sack to Gargadon and get another energy, so combo. As far as the sideboard, Angers and Coursers for aggro. We have Nihiris, which is an interesting way of cheating our big stuff into play if our opponent has like Stony Silence. Spellskite for combo and burn. Defense Grid to fight counterspell decks. Makes spells cost 3 more unless it's your turn. Relics of Progenitus for Dredge. Boseiju also fights counters, makes our Through the Breach uncounterable. And then, based on my experience playing Sean, I added a Wear Tear, so we're not literally drawing dead to Ensnaring Bridge, just in case the tides are turned and we run into someone else playing Free Win Red. Well, Thank you, Gruslog. I appreciate it. So the Gargadons are to sacrifice our lands to make energy with Aetherworks Marvel. So we'll see. I have not played a single game with this deck. As a result, I think we're going to go friendly. To minimize the problems with punning. When can we expect modern Panharmonicon? Alright, so funny story. I guess it's like story time tonight. I've been telling all kinds of stories. Isn't Ancient Grudge better? I thought of that at first. We do have white mana though, so hitting an enchantment could be relevant. I don't know if it's better or not. Oh, I think there should be, I believe there's 4 Gargadons. Let's see. So green, red, Marvel Breach. So the funny story is, and we have another new subscriber, Aztec Nemesis. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for Aztec Nemesis. So the emotes are only for subscribers. That's one of your benefits of being a subscriber, but it's the word scoops and then the word cheer in capitals is how you do it. So I actually, before I decided on the budget magic that we played, the mono red reckless Panharmonicon deck, I actually was trying to make modern Panharmonicon work, and I was playing Panharmonitron, and it was sweet. The deck was really sweet. I still might actually play it, but what's up, Nesmith? And we have a new subscriber, Tim's SJ94. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big cheer for our new subscriber. Yeah, I should update that. Green, red, Marvel Breach. So my initial budget magic for this week, and I hopefully will still make it work eventually because it was cool, was Panharmonitron in Modern. And the first build I played, and I won one game, and it was against like a budget mono green stompy deck, and then I lost every other game, so I couldn't make it work. I would have had to post videos that were like 1 win and 4 losses or 5 losses. I just could not win a game with that deck, so it looked really sweet though. All right, we're gonna play first. Hopefully, just wreck our opponent. This is a little bit backwards. So we have Aetherworks Marvel, but we have our fatties in hand. I still don't think we mulligan this though. We still get a fast Aetherworks Marvel, so hopefully this is good enough. T-Just 240, thank you for the resubscription. Welcome again to the Fishbowl. Well, thank you, T-Just, and thank you for your support. Definitely appreciate it. Yes, I swear we will make Panharmonicon. Whoa. Our opponent comboing off. What in... They, what they, Serum Visions? Serum Powder, rather? What is this? This has got to be something that's trying to kill us very quickly. Oh, yikes. Had this combo going off over enemy trying to engineered explosives at 4 to kill my Jays. Mana Drain, then Force of Will, their Force of Will, then Force of Will, Brainstorm, Mental Misstep, their Mental Misstep, Mind Break, track them all. Nice. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. Maybe this is Goryo's Vengeance. These cards are not cards you usually see, though. Soul Spike, Gemstone Caverns, Serum Powder, Pact of Negation. This has got to be something that's trying to kill us really fast. Well, Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills. We're going to search out a duel because if our opponent's trying to turn to us, our life is probably not going to matter. Yeah, do we accidentally join the Vintage League? Unfortunately, that's not a thing, but get a Stomping Ground. Tune with Ether in Modern. I bet our opponent did not see that coming. Get a Forest, get a couple energy, pass the turn. Yeah, something scary is happening. I know enough to know that our opponent is doing something extremely unfair. What exactly this is, though, I'm not sure. Soul Spike was in a deck before, and I can't remember what the combo was. This was part of... This might be like an old build of Grishelbrand that's using Soul Spike to gain life instead of Nourishing Shoal. That... Continuing to draw Emeralds is not ideal. That's going to really weaken our Aetherworks Marvel activations. Oh yeah, I will fix it. No more screen cutoff. Recording mode. Switching to streaming mode. Now. Yeah, that's kind of what I think that this is. This is an old build of something. I can't remember exactly what it is, though. Luckily, our opponent is not killing us too quick. Alright, let's Temple Garden, untapped. Unfortunately, we are not particularly close to activating Aetherworks Marvel. That's a question for Sean McLaren, why Wall of Roots over Servant. I'm not 100% sure. Opponent is discarding Grizzlebrand to hand size. Alright, we're going to be super greedy here and Ghost Quarter the Mana Confluence. Get an energy. Hopefully this screws up our opponent's plans and they're yeah! Strip Mine! We got him! We got him with the Strip Mine. This is going to be the jankiest way to get energy. So I think we're going to keep plussing our Wall of Roots so we can hopefully suicide them to get energy for Aetherworks Marvel. Oh, they drew another land and now we're dead. Goryo's Vengeance for Grizzlebrand. Wow. Wow. That's unfortunate. Opponent draws away their life. Hits us to 8. Draws again. Soul Spike. Well, I guess that's what they're doing with Soul Spike. They drew into mono Soul Spikes, and I guess we're dead. Well, that was interesting. Ugh, not savage enough. That went horribly. Wow. Ooh, a new puppy? Sweet. That was bad. I don't even know what we do here. Well, yeah, I mean, we bring in Relic. Not that that makes us feel safe. I guess we just gotta try to kill our opponent before they kill us. Like, always in Modern. Boy. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if Spellskite's worth it for Soul Spike. Because Spellskite is... It's just going to die to the first one. Maybe it's worth it. I don't think so, though. This is Sean's list, indeed. With a Wear Tear in the sideboard. My whole life is No Shave November. I have the beard. I'm not a fan of the shaving. Alright, what are we doing here? Yeah, I think we just gotta try to be faster and kill our opponent quicker. Which might mean we go down Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot, and we gotta keep Relic. Relic is a good out to what our opponent's doing. And maybe a World Spine Worm, try it like that. Alright, what do we get? Ancient Stirrings. Alright, this hand's reasonable. We will keep this. So let's keep. Opponent, you're gonna do their Serm Vision thing. Exiles, alright, a Goryo's Vengeance and a Grizzle. Jeez. all the free stuff. This is like the turn one build of this deck. Opponent gets to start with some mana. We're probably just going to die on turn one. Oh my. I've been working on Abzan Modern deck using Panharmonicon, Ghostway style. Ooh, that's sweet. Sweet. Swit. That's not even a word. Yeah, Ancient Stirrings is good at helping us find what we need. I expect that we're just going to die, though. So let's... Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills. Get Stomping Grounds, untapped. Ancient Stirrings. Well, there's Aetherworks Marvel. Put all of our Through the Breaches to the bottom, or not all of them, but many of them. Pass the turn. So, the problem I think we're going to have in this matchup is we're going to be good at killing our opponent on, like, turn 4 with this hand, hopefully. But our opponent is probably just going to, like, kill us on turn 1. Pull from Eternity to get back their Grizzlebrand from exile. Yep. Sure. We get a World Spine Worm. Well, let's suspend Gargadon, play a Forest, pass the turn. Our opponent's deck is very combo-y. No doubt about that. You're just basically hoping you have the right combination of cards to win on, like, turn 1. Or Spoils of the Vault. That helps. Hopefully this is a painful Spoils of the Vault for our opponent. Spoils of the Vault for what? Oh, for Goryo's Vengeance? Well, they can't draw before attacking, so it might be hard for them to kill us here. They only get one draw with Grizzlebrand. Unless they draw into Soul Spikes to gain life to get more draws. They do. Soul Spike draws more cards. Oh, that's fun. Another Soul Spike, of course. Draws more cards, down to 1. We do not have a Lightning Bolt or a Gut Shot. Huh? Well, that was a interactive game of Magic. Oh, so you can... Fury of the Horde is interesting. So, I didn't realize that you could just cast this whenever you wanted to. I was thinking that you had to play that, like, during combat. Because usually it's, like, after the attack step, there's another attack step. But apparently Fury of the Horde, you can just play this on your second main phase, and it makes its own, combat step. No, the problem with this deck, I mean, this deck, it's a thing that's been around, and it's kind of fallen out of favor for the more common versions of Grizzlebrand. The problem with this deck is it is super inconsistent. When it does its thing, like it did in this match, it looks insane, but it is very glass cannon-y, and it is very easily disrupted. Like a counter spell at any point, a graveyard removal spell at any point, and the deck just deck just doesn't work. So I don't think the format is broken by any means. It's just a combo deck that's getting their good draws. So I don't know. I still think if you're going to play a modern tournament, I would expect that you would play the normal version of Grizzlebrand, which is more resilient. That deck doesn't have much filtering. You're kind of just hoping that you can use Serum Powder to get the right 7, and when it works out, it's very powerful. And it is a testament to Modern, where there's just not good ways of interacting. Yes, our opponent's deck folds to hate very easily, which is why it isn't a tier 1 deck. That's the biggest problem with it, and it's very inconsistent. It loses to itself quite a bit because you cut back on the card filtering that you get in normal versions of Grishol to be faster, basically. So maybe normal is the wrong term, but the more popular version of Grishol, I would say. This is sort of like the old version, from what I remember, that was popular before people realized the nursing Shoal aspect of it. Alright, so we get to play first. Well, no ramp, but we got through the breach in Emrakul. So that's not bad. Are we going to see a Goryo's Vengeance instant deck tech? I'm sure we will at some point. That's one of the benefits of doing Type 2 Thursdays, or Tier Thursdays, is we actually get to look at decks that aren't just super janky whatever decks. Alright, let me update our record. 0-1 in... what was that, like a 4-turn match? Copperline Gorge. We should probably suspend this Gargadon just for fun. Alright, suspend Gargadon, Pestered. Want Metal Misstep back in Modern. The problem with Misstep is, from what we've seen in other formats, it just becomes a game where all decks are 56 cards, essentially, and everyone plays 4 Mental Missteps. At least that's very much what happened in Modern, or in Legacy before it was banned. Gargadon ticks down. Ramp would be awesome. Alright, well, Ancient Stirrings. Hopefully we find ramp with Ancient Stirrings then. That's what we want more than any... Ho, 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 ho. Well, I guess we're taking Aetherworks Marvel. Putting the rest to the bottom. We pretty much have to through the breach our opponent, or Marvel our opponent, before they can kill us. Fold into Ether against the odds. Yeah, that's a sweet one. Pass the turd. Yeah, that was a tough decision. We had 3 Marvels to choose from. Hopefully we chose correctly. Yeah. It's fine in Vintage, I think. I don't think it's too overpowered. Is it? Yeah, it's fine in Vintage. It was pretty miserable in Legacy and needed to be banned, and I expect that it would be similar in Modern. Alright, play the forest, pass the turn. We'll see if we're fast enough. We're going to be a little bit of energy short. Like, we are a tune with Ether short, and I think that's what makes Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot important, is the math. If we have 2 energy, on turn 4 we play Marvel, sack all of our lands to Gargadon, and that gives us exactly enough energy for Marvel. What's up, Valoopy? I noticed you. Senix, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big scoops cheer for Senix, our new subscriber. Will Modern Masters 3 add cards to the Frontier pool? No, it will not. Frontier is only M15 forward. Oh boy. Our opponent is probably going to be able to kill us next turn. Or possibly, at least. Let's see what we draw. Gargadon ticks down. There's our ramp, a bit too late. Well, Wall of Roots, Wooded Foothills, past the turd. Oh, so close. So Frontier is the new format that people are pushing, but it starts at M15 and then goes forward. So Frontier is, yeah, essentially a non-rotating format is the idea, but starting way later than Legacy. So starting with M15. It's a very, very new format. No. Wizards did not make it. This has been started by... Ooh, now we just win, actually. I think. Alright, pass the turn. Gargadon ticks down. Our opponent did not have it for once. So that's fine. Let's crack wooded foils. Get a forest. It's a very interesting idea. So it's not officially supported by Wizards yet. Let's cast Through the Breach. I think between Emrakul and Gargadon, we'll choose Emrakul. But yeah, it's started by some of the big Japanese stores. It's been picked up by face-to-face games in Toronto. So it's catching on. Whoa, what was my punt now? That didn't seem very punty. What should I have done different, Brewski? Oh, thank you for the host, DPS Shoe. So the thing with Frontier is, I am an advocate. Well, first, there's two things. So first, number one, the card pool just doesn't interest me right now. It seems to be too small for me to really be excited about it, and I have not played it yet, but I feel like it's going to be all... Siege Rhinos, Collected Companies, Rally the Ancestors, basically the big decks that just rotated from Standard. So that's the one thing I don't like, but that will change as the card pool grows and more sets are added. The bigger problem I see is if the format really catches on, it will just be Modern. Like 5 years from now, all the stuff that people complain about Modern, the prices being too high, card availability issues, dominant decks at the top of the format that are broken, all of those things will be in the future of Frontier, I think. So that's my concern. If I had my choice, I would support a format that is like Frontier, but actually more like Extended. Probably with a bigger card pool than Extended, so I don't know exactly the time frame, but have a format that's 5 years of sets legal or so, and then some sort of rotation. Because I think that you will run into the same problems with Frontier that you're seeing now with other formats, like Modern. Yeah, that's the other thing, is Blood Moon is not legal in Frontier, so... we should probably sideboard, and I think I'm losing my voice. Alright. Alright, what are we doing here? Scapeshift, I guess Courser could be alright. Anger's not good. Nahiri... Maybe we don't change anything, and this is just another race matchup. Yeah. I mean, I guess the story of Modern, kill your opponent before they kill you. Ooh. Alright, well, this hand is good at killing quickly. With our ramp, we just need to find an Aetherworks Marvel or something else. I read Jeff's article on his suggestions for Modern. His suggestions were certainly extensive. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I can't imagine Wizards actually taking that much action. That's a lot of things. I agreed with a lot of what Jeff said, actually. There's a few things that I don't necessarily agree with, but a lot of what he said I thought was pretty good. It is weird that Lightning Bolt's fine and Counterspell is not. Alright, we'll have to look into bot issues. I'll have to yell at MTG bot. Tell them to pick up their game a bit. Well, I guess we just keep ramping. And then maybe cast Mind Stone. And then maybe crack Mind Stones eventually. So let's play Ether Hub, get an energy. Play Wall of Roots. Play Mind Stone. Pass the turn. Yeah, we have enough energy now, I think. We just need to find a Marvel. If we find a Marvel, we should be able to activate it thanks to Greater Gargadon. Marvel? World Spine Worm. This costs 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not even close to that. I guess we can... Alright, let's Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath, get another land out of our deck. No. Jeff Hoogland didn't make Frontier. He wrote an article about Modern and cards that he thought should be banned. Let's crack a Mind Stone. Another land. Alright, pass the turn. Hey, thank you, Boltu. Well, I mean, we got Worm and Emrakul. Worm is good because it's very good with Through the Breach. It hits for 15 and then leaves behind the 5/5. So I think that's the main reason. I'm sure there could be good secondary targets though. All right, let's draw another card with Mind Stone. Another Wall of Roots. There it is. All right. Well, I guess it's time, boys and girls. Ether Hub, get an energy. Suspend our Greater Gargadon. We are actually going to activate an Aetherworks Marvel. It's gonna happen. Aetherworks Marvel. Cast. Oh, now we get to sack things. Let's sack. Let's just sack lands, I guess. Yeah, we definitely. It's possible that we whiff. Sack an Ether Hub. How many counters are on this? Many. Oh, sweet Boltu. Yeah, that's one of my favorite decks. I really love that deck. So, up to 5 energy. Up to 6 energy. Alright, Aetherworks. Be good to us. Be good to us. Come on! Something big! Yeah! We got... Ooh! Ooh! So, we can cast Emrakul, or we can through the... we can through the breach the Emrakul. Alright, well, I think we win either way, so let's just cast Emrakul. Yes. Get an extra turn, and I think that does it. Well, we were not fast enough to beat that first deck, but it looks like we're fast enough to beat Scapeshift. Our opponent's deck was pretty slow this game. Sweet! Big Mama Emrakul! Come into play. And the sweet thing about Aetherworks Marvel is theoretically we could just activate it again this turn. I mean, we're not going to because our opponent's going to die, but if our opponent doesn't scoop, we can just activate again. I guess we could have went for the kill by activating it right away. Alright, let's play Wall of Roots. Since alright, bonus scoops it up. Oh, our opponent, whoa, Summoning Trap, okay. So our opponent had the ways to cheat creatures into play, but did not have any creatures. Alright, that went better. Some nice, fun, interactive magic. The loss to Infect will come as soon as we run into Infect, I assume. Ensnaring Bridge is just expensive everywhere, and it's relatively low supply online, which I think is part of the problem. So we're back to 1-1. We're cruising through this league. Our matches are just ending instantly. I believe so. Did you? What one did you submit? The Surisen? Yeah, there's no way that Etherworks gets banned in Modern, I don't think. So, match 1 was miserable against a Grishelbrand deck, but not Grishelbrand, Goryo's Vengeance deck. Ryoru, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big scoops cheer for our new subscriber, and welcome to Eldrazi Outlaw, first time in the stream. Shout out to you. Welcome. Always awesome to see new people around. One land. Oh, man. The one land nut draw. Actually, I guess it's not that nutty. We have a lot of good stuff, but I think we got to mulligan this. There's a good chance we do nothing. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Alright, we'll try this. Wall of Roots has to go to the bottom, unfortunately. Copperline Gorge, suspend Gargadon, pass the turn. Jay Zoller, really? I mean, you gotta have Jason banned in Modern. My top 3 for, I think the first 3 things Jeff said, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I was going to make a Brewer's Minute about the Modern ban list, and I might still at some point. But my top unbannings were very similar to his. Alright, Ancient Stirrings. Oh, no, land? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. That is very bad. Alright, pass the turn. Wow! Yeah, the matches are going incredibly quick today. But Jace was at the top of my unbanning list. Splinter Twin was near the top of my unbanning list. And Stoneforge with Batterskull being banned was also near the top. There's something else, and I can't think of what it was. But those were 3 of the big ones that I would be most in favor of. Does anyone have the link to Jeff's article? Oh boy. If you have a link, put it in the chat. I don't have the link in front of me. Well, this is not going very well. Oh yeah, Bloodbraid Elf. Very good. I think if Stoneforge Mystic would be... Yes, Bloodbraid was the other one. Because now with... I think the real problem was Deathrite Shaman. So with Deathrite gone, I think that it is safe to bring Bloodbraid Elf back. There's the article. Thank you, Damnation and Goyf Ascension. Goyf something. And everyone else. So yeah... Batterskull is fine on its own, but I don't think it's fine if Stoneforge Mystic is running around. Voided Foothills for our opponent. Cracks it. Artifact lands should be unbanned, and that's not just because I play Affinity. Artifact lands are very far down on the list of unbannings. I think we are drawing dead here. I don't think there's any... Well, you got a land... Yeah, we're just dead. There's no combination of things. We play this, we play Mind Stone, we draw a land. We still don't have the energy for Etherworks. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So we're drawing dead to our opponent's board here. Well, this might be the quickest league of all time. Yes, then there's a couple things I disagree with as far as Jeff's ideas. With the biggest ones being Blood Moon. Oh, Jeff, what are you thinking? Also, I could be persuaded on Simian Spirit Guide, but I really think that Spirit Guide enables a lot of decks, and it is way less powerful than Chrome Mox or things like that. Would Artifact lands be played in Affinity? I believe they certainly would. They are so powerful with Ravager and Cranial Plating. Can Affinity survive without Opal? It would be a fair deck. So the weird Modern is so weird. So here's the thing. Right now, I guess you would call Affinity our turn 3.5 deck, maybe. Sometimes wins on turn 3, sometimes wins on turn 4. If you banned Mox Opal, it would be a turn 4 deck. And that sounds awesome. Turn 4 was originally the idea of Modern. That's what we were going for, decks that kill on turn 4. The thing is, there's a lot of other decks that are turn 3.5, even turn 3. So if we hurt Affinity in that way, then those other decks are going to still be killing on turn 3. So I think it's got to be a more all or nothing approach. Like, one thing I would go for, and I've been saying this for over a year now, is just ban Inkmoth. Like, that powers down Infect, but doesn't kill it. Powers down Affinity, but doesn't kill it. Slows both of those decks down, so I would be on board with that. I'd like to see more Face the Hydra or Horde Magic type game variants. I play Magic Online if something like that would happen. Well, that would be interesting. Let's see. We're not sideboarding very quickly. We got to have Spellscut here. Anger might be okay on the play. It might be fast enough. And then maybe we want Nahiri's over Aetherworks Marvel. Is Nahiri fast enough? I guess we can bring in Wear Tear. Go down. Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot. A Gargadon, a Worldspine Worm, Mind Stone, and a Tune. Well, let's try it like that. Alright, what do we get? Well, we have our single best card in this matchup. This hand is not great, but Spellskite is so good against Boggles. To be honest, so far the evening had no interaction with the opponent's deck, and they've had no interaction with you. Could this be better? That is exactly how Modern, a lot of Modern is. I don't think Affinity needs something new in terms of unbans. What Modern needs is more unbans rather than bans. Yeah, the ban list is silly. Someone put out the suggestion, and I don't know if this is a good suggestion, but unban everything with the understanding that in 6 months or a year, some predetermined time frame, Wizards is going to start banning things again. So unban the whole lot of it, and then formulate the ban list in 6 months or a year after seeing what the format looks like. And I don't think that's necessarily a good idea, because some stuff is super broken. Hypergenesis is a good example. Skull Clamp is another good example. So there's some stuff that you just don't really want to do, but it's an interesting idea. Maybe for most of the ban list it would be sweet. Skull Clamp is a big problem. That's at the other end of the spectrum. While I think like Jace and Bloodbraid Elf are at the most unbannable side, the other side is certainly Skull Clamp is like the least unbannable card in Modern. Alright, opponent passes. Ooh, Ancient Stirrings. Well, I think we just ramp here. So let's Ether Hub, make an energy, play a Wall of Roots, -1 or -0, -1 on Wall of Roots, play Mind Stone, pass the turn. So we could get there. What's my thoughts on Gitaxian Probe being banned? I don't think Gitaxian Probe is overpowered, but oh no, they drew it. Yikes. Alright. Well, we get a land, and we can still win this game if we just draw into our combo. And we have Ancient Stirrings. Well, let's see what our opponent can do here. I don't even think Jace would be very good in Modern right now, honestly. I looked over the list of most playable decks. Like, when you're getting 15 power with Dredge, on turn 2 or turn 3, burning people out on turn 3, Death Shadow Zoo, Affinity. Like, none of those decks care about Jace, like, at all. So Gataxian Probe, I think is okay to. I think Gataxian Probe would be okay to ban, but not because it's overpowered, but more because of what it does to. Oh, there we go. Sorry, opponent. That was a fun game, but you're playing Modern, so sometimes your opponent just top decks it through the breach, and then an Emrakul, and then attacks with it, and then the game ends. Oh, Modern. Modern is such a silly place. We had nothing. We had nothing going on. Nothing going on. We crack a Mind Stone, draw for our turn, and the game just ends. Oh, well, you're welcome. I missed the name who said that, but I thank you for the compliment. How good Broken would Counterspell be in Modern? It would be good, but I don't think it'd be that good. I don't think Counterspell actually isn't better than Mana Leak in some decks, especially when you consider the speed of the format and the fact that Counterspell is double blue. Heavy blue decks it would be very good in. If you're playing like Blue Moon or something, it's the nuts. But in a lot of decks, if you're playing like 3 or 4 colors, it's not a huge upgrade over a Mana Leak. Would Daze be great with Shocklands? So I think a spell like Daze would be interesting. I'm really borderline on Force of Will. The thing with Force of Will, and also with Daze to a lesser extent, is while those cards allow fair decks to fight against unfair decks, it also just slots into, in fact, maybe Death Shadow Zoo. It slots into a lot of the unfair decks, and then the unfair decks just fight back by playing those spells as well. So I think we almost need a new design that is similar to Force of Will, but somehow is able to not be abused by the unfair decks. I don't know what the wording would be, but we need something similar to that, though. I don't know. There are a lot of fast kills in Modern these days. Foil would be interesting. I played a couple matches with the new cube they have, which is incredibly weird, but I was playing Thwart in my deck. You got to pick up 3 islands and you get a free counter. 2000 Monk, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big scoops here for our new subscriber. So Pact of Negation is just too slow. We need something that can disrupt, like the deck we played in round 1, the turn 1 decks, turn 2 decks that are really doing unfair things. So we need something that can work earlier than Pact of Negation. Pact of Negation actually is mostly played by the unfair decks, honestly, that are able to win in one big turn, because dying on your next upkeep doesn't do anything else. Exile blue card with cost 6 or more. That's an interesting idea. The only problem is we've seen, like, in the beginning of Modern with Blazing Shoal, if there's a really powerful free spell, decks will play like Reaper King and jank like that just to be able to take advantage of it. So I don't know if that could somehow find its way into unfair decks. Johnny, Johnny, thank you for the resub. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Any update on the best of video? What was the best of video? I'm so confused. I know I probably talked about this. I say so many things while I'm streaming and recording videos, and I probably remember about a quarter of them after the fact. I mean, that probably sounded really bad. Yeah, but it's sort of true. What was the best of video? Do we keep this and hope we draw into an Emrakul, or do we mulligan this? So we had to wait for the commander stuff to come on Magic Online. Alright. I guess this is somewhat okay. God's Eye, we don't need here. My day's been pretty reasonable, Mechanical Taco. Now I lost my train of thought again, and I don't know what we were talking about. Fight unfair decks. Commander Clash. Yes. So we had to wait for the cards to come online. But they're coming online soon. They're actually online now. So within a couple of weeks, and there's Aetherworks. Within a couple of weeks, we should be able to have the episode up. I think we're going to be recording it next week, but then there's like a delay before it goes up. So it'll probably be about 2 weeks for the Commander 2016, the first Commander 2016 Commander Clash. How about ban the fetch lands? I know some people like that idea. I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. Can we beat Gaddock-Teeg? Survey says probably not. Tune with Ether. Get a mountain. Play the mountain. Suspend Gargadon. So I guess we need to draw our Anger of the Gods before this Gaddock-Teeg gets huge. Windswept Heath for our opponent. Oh my goodness. Opponent's gonna go to town with Gaddock-Teeg. Cracks Windswept Heath. Horadric. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. And Lord Ekin, thank you for your resub. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big scoops cheers for our subs and resubs. Oh, how do we beat this? Gargadon ticks it. Oh, there's the Anger too. Well, Ancient Stirrings. This is just going to be too slow. Get Wooded Foothill. Or we could take Mindstone. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I was not expecting Gaddock-Teeg. Oh, well, thank you for your subscription. Proud to be your very first Twitch sub. Can we even win from here? We couldn't Anger because of this Spider Umbra, right? Am I misunderstanding this interaction? Well, the problem is Suppression Field means we can't actually crack this land. That's the sticking point. We've done draft series in the past, and I think we'll do more in the future. Alright, we'll take Wooded Foothills. Play Ghost Quarter. So, Spider Umbra, if the creature would be destroyed, instead remove the damage and destroy the aura. If a creature would die or be destroyed, exile it instead. I don't know. I don't know how those two things stack, honestly. But this says if it would be destroyed, remove all damage from it. So which one wins out in a battle? Opponent has Rancor. Well, it's still possible we get out of this if our opponent doesn't have anything. We have a shot. Oh man, I'm getting so many different answers. I didn't think it would work, so I didn't even think of it. I assumed that the Umbra would win. Well, we could draw another Anger. Now what we can do is take our beats. We have a path, sort of, depending on what our opponent's hand is. Gargadon ticks down. We draw another World Spine Worm. So, play Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. We pretty much gotta hope our opponent doesn't have a toughness boosting aura. So, pass the turn. Well, this is a big turn. If our opponent can boost Gaddock Teeg's toughness, we're in trouble. Oh, now he might just be dead to our opponent's board. Our opponent just has everything. Yeah, that does it. Now there's nothing we can draw. Anger wouldn't have worked, though. How would it... Oh, I should have Anger just to kill Gladecover Scout? That doesn't make sense. I think that's the game. Okay. I thought that the Totem Armor would not let Anger work. Well, the plan was that our opponent wouldn't hopefully have another aura to boost Gaddock Teeg, and then we can fetch out white mana, kill Spider Umbra, untap, and... this, I'm pretty sure this is game. Because we can't fetch now. We're going to take too much damage, because we have to fetch out... See, here the problem is we got to pay 2 to fetch. We got to get Temple Garden untapped, which puts us to 9. And then our Tear hits Spider Umbra, but we're still dead. Yep. That suppression field really got us. And the Ghost Quarter play, we can look at the list. I'm pretty sure there's no basic plains. Yeah, it's only basic forests and mountains. So the Ghost Quarter play is a good idea, but we couldn't do it. We're just drawing dead there, though. I mean, yeah, the thing is, like, we were still dead. So we could have killed Ethereal Armor, and technically we live another turn, which is true. So we could have done that, but the next turn we were still in the same position, and there wasn't a card in our deck that we could have... There wasn't a card that we could have drawn that would have gotten us out of that situation, thanks to Gaddock Teeg. So even though we could have technically survived the attack, we were dead the next turn. Like, there wasn't a card in our deck that would get us out of that, unfortunately. So, I mean, we could have lived another turn. That's fair. But I don't think... Well, I know that there was no way of us winning from that position. We had to get rid of the Gaddock Teeg, and then we could have won. That was interesting. Huh, Gaddock Teeg is very good against us. That's a sideboard card you don't see that often, but it is super good. the Volupy go for the Moto punt plan. Hope that Moto doesn't work right. Oh, well, while we're waiting for this match, give another shout out to our super awesome stream sponsor, who has some sales going on for Black Friday. So check out up to 50% off on some sweet deck boxes, other stuff, including some Grimoires, which are super nice and high end. So thank you to them for supporting us, and give them a look. Also, raffling away an Eldritch Moon booster. Ooh, all right, well, we get to play first. It's not over yet. Ooh. Well, this is good. We just need to find a fatty or find a Aetherworks Marvel, I guess. Yeah, Teague was good. So the problem with Anger there is our opponent had a totem armor, which makes it so the Anger wouldn't have actually killed the Gaddock Teague. It basically, it's almost like regeneration automatically is probably the easiest way to look at it. It's a aura that does something, but also says if the creature would die, instead you destroy the aura and the creature lives. It basically regenerates and you destroy the aura. I think Saheeli has potential. Oh, let me put it in there again. I mean, they have their Black Friday sale going on with the Grimoire over there. But, yes, it's Wizardry Foundry is the stream sponsor. Alright, so we just grab a mountain since we don't have one. And pass the turn, see what our opponent's up to. Well, you think Wizards should print new cards in Modern Masters for Modern that can't be created for Standard, like Force of Will spells, Counterspell, yeah. So, I think Wizards should print new cards for Modern, yes. I don't think that Wizards should put them first in Modern Masters because the supply just isn't high enough. New subscriber, Asta LOL, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big scoops cheer for our newest subscriber. Oh, lordy. That happens to be an Emrakul to go with our Through the Breach, and we get 2 Ancient Stirrings to find an Ether Hub. And this game is going to... This whole league is either us dying super quick to our opponent doing unfair things or us killing our opponent super quick by doing unfair things. So I would like them to do cards like that in Conspiracy, for example. They need a high supply set. What's up, Clock Guy? Or Clock Guy. Oh, welcome. So I would like to see a Conspiracy type of set for them to do that has a higher supply. Opponent passes. Ooh, we get a Marvel, 2 energy, not enough. So another new subscriber, Dorman Frank, and Rosie Just. Welcome you both to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much. Let's give a big scoops here to Dorman Frank and Rosie Just, our newest subscribers. So play Ether Hub, get an energy. I guess we just gotta hope we live another turn. And Spam Dude, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give another big scoops cheer. So yes, I want them to print new cards in Modern. I think that would be very helpful for the format. But I don't think they should do it directly through Modern Masters, because we're seeing this right now on Magic Online. They're putting the new cards from the treasure chest. They're only found in, or the new cards from Commander and Conspiracy are only found in the treasure chests. So last time I checked, Leovold is like 80 tickets, 75 tickets, like $75 on Magic Online, because the supply is just incredibly low. And we would run into a similar issue if there was a Tarmogoyf level card, or even a mid-level modern card that was brand new but only in Modern Masters, it would be so expensive. Goyphacetic, hopefully they will be muted or banned, so they'll be out of here. I think it's a bot. Whoa! The snack that smiles back. Well, welcome, Roberti. How goes it? That is a lot of MTG goldfishes, but I see you. Any thoughts or predictions? I'm hoping we win a chest so I can open it against my better judgment and lose money. Any predictions on Amonkhet? Well, more gods is an easy one. Alright, I guess we kill our opponent. I guess they might be able to survive. But we're still just going to breach. Emrakul, the Eon Storm, Big Mama Emrakul, come into play. Alright, Robert. Panharmonicon in Stake Sisters, yes or no? It could be fun, but I don't think the most competitive version would have it. I guess that's my answer. So if you're playing for fun, go for it, but I think that the most competitive versions will not play it because it's sort of win more, I think. That is an odd choice. I guess our opponent's hoping to go infinite here in response. And they do not. Hits a bunch of nothing. Well, you get to see their deck. Lots of mana dorks. Another Anafenza. Well, that went good. This is the most blowouty stream I've ever seen. My prediction for the Inventions or Masterpiece series would be enchantment based. I also think it's possible that there's not a strong type theme, card type theme, and instead it's more flavor themed. But I had a conversation with Chaz about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast or when we were talking before the podcast, and I don't know if there's enough good like Egyptian/desert flavored cards to do it that way. But I definitely think that we will have more gods. I think that's essentially a given, and I think that because the expectation is that gods are enchantment creatures, etc., that they will be similar to the Theros gods. Maybe in more colors. I don't know exactly how they'll do it, but I expect them to be similar to the Theros gods. Grixis Tezzeret, that would be sweet. 40 different artworks on Ancient Tomb. I almost hope that Wizards pulls off the troll and it's like Desert, Vengeful Pharaoh. I think there's some more old cards from like Legends and Arabian Nights that are like that. Just like really bad, horrible cards, but they're on theme flavor-wise. But I want to see Devotion come back. I mean, Devotion is fine. I don't know if I want to see it already, though. No, that's okay, Robert. I don't hold it against you. Probably want relics as well. We actually should sideboard, though. We're just going to die. Go down Puzzle Knot. Go down other things before we run out of time. Probably just some ramp. If we go down ramp, we probably want to go down Wall of Roots. Yeah, let's try it like this. Should I run Panharmonicon and Stake Sisters? You can do it for fun, but I think the most competitive version would not have it. Well, I mean, we got the Wombo combo. Do we live long enough to do it? Is the question. So let's keep. A Bloodstained Mire for our opponent. And passes. Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills, grab a Forest. I think Devotion can be okay. I don't think it's a bad mechanic, but it can be overpowered in some situations. That's very true. That was not a great Ancient Stirrings. Just get a land. Put the rest to the bottom. I'd like to see some 0/1 creatures that gain enter the battlefield or combat triggers from spells in the graveyard. Ooh, that would be spicy. Greater Gargadon is to sack out all of our stuff to generate energy for Aetherworks Marvel and hopefully win us the game. There's Malira. So our opponent is building towards their combo. Good lord, deck. Well, Aether Hub go. We have not drawn really anything. Pass the turn. Overgrown Tomb with Egyptian art would be sweet. Are we going to get to play Momir Basic? It is looking hopeful. We might even have a time to squeeze in a game with something else in between. But very likely that we get to play a game or two of Momir tonight. There's the Sphinx. Come on, Anger of the Gods off the top. Oh, my deck! Oh, are you for real? Well, our opponent needs basically anything to find a sack outlet, and the game just ends. Oh, you've missed some really fun interactive magic, Stu. It's just us killing people on turn 4 or people killing us on turn 3. Every single game. We're in the fourth match of our league, and it's been like an hour. No, this league is just went really fast. We still have this match and one more in the league. And then we'll probably play Momir, everyone's favorite random format. That's true. I guess we're technically not just dead to infinite life. Opponent passes. Alright, we get a Wall of Roots. So let's play Wall of Roots. Play Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Yeah, they can't go truly infinite, and even if they could, milling would be an issue. If they can do damage, though, they beat us. That's very true. Are they... Oh, they have Chord? Well, here's the combo. Chord X1. So this should mean... Did our opponent play a land last turn? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This should mean that we're dead. Our opponent should be able to just scry until they find... Well, they miss their land drop. Let's think about this. If we're just dead, I'll scoop and we'll move on to game 3. They can scry, but are they guaranteed to scry into a win? So they missed their land drop. So let's assume they don't have a land. That means they can't just scry into damage because they don't have the black mana they need to cast, what's it called? And then they only have X3 for a Chord of Calling, so they can't Chord of Calling for it. Collective Company doesn't hit it, so I think we actually are not dead, even with our opponent getting infinite scries. I'm not sure. Yes, Red Cap. That's the card I couldn't think of. Yes, if they have Red Cap in hand, they scry till they find a black source and we lose. So, but we can't assume they have Red Cap in hand. So what's happening here? If you haven't seen this combo before, I should probably explain it. You think cards that scry your opponent's deck are too powerful for standard? Those cards are very unfun. They're not. I don't think they're too powerful, but Jace has taught us that it's very unfun. So this combo, Malira makes it so creatures can't have counters placed on them. Kitchen Finks, when it dies, it has persist, so it comes back into play if it didn't have a -1/-1 counter, you return it with a -1/-1 counter. So since Malira doesn't let a -1/-1 counter go on it, our opponent can just infinitely sack the Kitchen Finks with Viscera, which lets you sack a creature to scry, gain a whole bunch of life. In the real world, it's technically infinite. You could just be like, whatever, a million life. But on Magic Online, it's not truly infinite because of time and how long it takes to go through this combo. Normally, if I know I'm dead, I scoop to this. I hate when people make me go through combos if they know they're dead. So I would normally scoop. However, in this scenario, I'm actually not convinced that we are dead. I think that there's actually an above average chance that we're not dead, because they need a very specific one of, most likely, or maybe two of in their hand. So I can't just scoop here, which makes me feel bad because our opponent has to keep going through this loop. But that's what you got to do. If I knew I was dead, if they had a black source, one more black source, I would scoop. If they had one more land, I would scoop. But in this exact scenario, I'm not convinced that I'm dead. What was the question? Do I think Blightsteel could be good in this deck as a counter to life gain? The thing is, Emerald's already kind of a counter to life gain because you can shuffle your deck back in so you mill your opponent out. So I think that our opponent's still scrying to the bottom. Interesting. There's no way to reveal your hand to your opponent. Well, I just don't like it because I don't like when people make me do it. I remember we played when we played Trading Post-Tron, we had like 2 or 3 matches where we had the Mindslaver lock and our opponent would just be like, oh, okay. So our opponent left something on top. We don't know what it is. When we go to Emrakul, they're probably just going to go through this whole loop again. What did they leave on top? Alright, they just cast a Kitchen Finks. So are we really just going to win? This is going to end up being a weird game. Cracked Wooded Foothills. Get a Stomping Grounds. Tapped. So awkward. We draw another land. Now let's play Ether Hub, get an energy. Oh boy. So we threw the Breach, an Emrakul. Our opponent's probably going to spend another 10 minutes gaining life. I assume. We go Annihilating. Opponent's going to Cortex 1? I guess for another sacrifice fodder. Okay. Sure. Oh boy. Magic, magic, magic. Such a weird league. Opponent gets a Noble Hierarch to sack 2 Annihilator. Are they going to combo off here before they get annihilated? Yup. Alright, so we just F6 again. So what do you want to talk about, chat? Let's talk about Frontier. Has anyone in the chat actually played Frontier? That's a good question. I am legitimately curious about that. Do you know Goryo Basic format? It's an old format similar to Momir Basic. I have heard of it, but I have not actually played it. One of my favorite formats, yes, it's okay. I would like to. What is Frontier? Frontier is a format M15 forward or cards that are legal. So M15, Magic Origins, Theros Cons, Battle for Zendikar, Shadows over Innistrad, and then any new sets get added to it as well. Oh, that was a very skeptical comment. Wandering Wind. All right, so our opponent gets to keep their stuff. Plays a Noble Hierarch. Unfortunately, our hand is mono lands, so we could definitely still lose from here. Opponent goes attacking. We block. We need to draw actual action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, this has been such a bad draw. What do we do here? Except Frontier isn't supposed to rotate. We have a new subscriber! Chalkick. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for Chalkick. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can't Gargadon. No, let's suspend Gargadon. I guess we can use Gargadon to sack and make a 1/1 to block. And then, in theory, we could draw Aetherworks Marvel. That's what we need here. Aetherworks Marvel lets us win. So if we just happen to draw Aetherworks Marvel, or a way to find Aetherworks Marvel, opponent does some attacking. 3, 6, 7, 8. Block, block. Well, we definitely sack this God's Eye. Combo! Get a 1/1. So let's see. We block here. If we block Finks, we take 3. Next turn we block Finks. We're at 7. We take 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, this buys us 2 turns, theoretically, if our opponent doesn't have another play. So I think this is the best block. Basically, we just want to maximize the amount of time we have to draw a Aetherworks Marvel, which is our 1 draw. Another Gargadon. Alright, so let's play a mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still 1. Oh, man. Alright, pass the turn. If we hit the sack outlet, though, we die here. This buys us 1 more turn. I think, right? Like if we block here, then we're dead on on this attack. Oh, you're right. I see what you're saying. Yes, that was actually a misplay. I don't. Yeah, I guess it would have given us another blocker, but I don't know if it would have actually mattered. What is the best deck in Modern? Dredge, maybe. In fact, yeah, I think I did punt by not sacking the token. I don't know if that punt will impact the outcome of the game, but I should have sacked the token. Mailbox 16, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. So our opponent can probably scry for a Path to Exile if they're in their deck. I would love to bolt the Malira, but that's not a card that I have. You need to be able to win, I think, around 60% of the time to go infinite. Close to that. It might be like a few percentage points one way or another, but somewhere around 60% in leagues. I'm pretty sure we don't get another turn. Assuming our opponent has Anger of the Gods left in their deck, then we just lose. Or not Anger, Path to Exile. Because they just path our wall and attack with everything. We did board in Relics. We didn't draw one, but we boarded them in. We actually just ran really poorly. We're, what, 12 cards into our deck, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lands? That's a pretty high land percentage. Actually, 9 lands, because we have God's Eye in the graveyard. Hey, hello from the US, and hope all is well in Australia. Should I just scoop? Is it possible that our opponent actually does not have it here? Is it possible that Spellskite is going to creep up in price online? It's possible. Also possible it gets reprinted in the next Modern Masters, and that would be an issue, and it would lose a lot of value. It has been a bit higher in the past. I think peak Spellskite price since Modern Masters 2015 came out is, alright, there's the path. So our opponent did have the path in their deck. Peak Spellskite price is about 25, and it's about at 18 right now, so I don't know. If you're not going to use it, I'm fine with selling it now. Yeah, our path targets aren't great. That's why I thought there was a chance that our opponent would have boarded them out, but... Alright, let's run it back. That was an awkward draw on our part. Yeah, like I said before, well, we would have won Damnation. We would have annihilated away our opponent's board, and our library would shuffle back in thanks to Emrakul, and eventually we'd win by milling our opponent out. And it's possible if we actually just have a Emrakul on the battlefield. It's only like, what, 10, 11 turns to do 115? So it's possible we still could have won. You know me, I scoop earlier than I should. So if I felt like we were at 0%, I would have scooped. Hey, thank you, cool guy. What do you think it would take to get Frontier to become an officially recognized format in the MTG community and by Wizards? Jeez, deck. Alright, well, we like drawing our lands this match. Ooh. Alright, this is interesting. This might work. Worldspine Worm to the bottom for now. Temple, it doesn't really matter since we're going to be attuned with Ether. Unfortunately, we only have one mountain. Well, let's get a forest. Give some energy. Pass the turn. So I think it's just going to take time for that format to be recognized. We've seen in the past when Wizards recognizes a format, it just takes a little while. Well, let's attune with Ether. Get a mountain. We're going to have our energy, which is sweet, if we find our combo piece. So grab the mountain. Play the forest. Attune with Ether. Just keep pulling lands out of our deck. Get a forest. Ooh, the old triple attune with Ether draw. Well, we have 6 energy, which means if we ever resolve our Aetherworks Marvel, we get to immediately activate it. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if maybe a second mountain would be good. What did I think about Unified Modern? I like the idea of Unified, but I don't especially like it in Modern. Modern is just too easy to have everyone play different decks, and it's not a real cost. So I would like it better with like Standard and formats like that. Well, there's Aetherworks. Let's Ancient Stirrings. Grab a Mind Stone. Put the rest to the bottom. Play the mountain. Play the Mind Stone. Hope that nothing horrible happens, and we Aetherworks our way to victory next turn. Woo! Unified Modern is so you have 3 people making decks on your team, and there can be no overlap between cards. So if player A uses Lightning Bolt, player B and player C can't use Lightning Bolt. So that's the problem. Or not the problem, but the challenge of the format. In Standard, that's a real cost. But in Modern, it's like, just off the top of my head, you could play Dredge, Affinity, and Tron. 3 Tier 1 decks. And you wouldn't even have to make any hard choices. You just immediately have your decks. Because the card pool is so big. So I think it's interesting and it forces different decks to show up, but it doesn't really impact deck building all that much in Modern. It's just too easy to play different decks. Whew! All right. Well, we draw an Anger. So I guess we play Ghost Quarter. And we play Aetherworks Marvel. So do we just Aetherworks Marvel right now? Is there any reason not to do it right now? I'm trying to think. Any reason to not just Aetherworks? I mean, if we hit an Emrakul, it's great. All right, we'll do it. Let's see. Spin the wheel on the Aetherworks. Come on, no whiffs. That wasn't great. Maybe I should have taken Emrakul. Hooray for more Aetherworks. Pass the turn. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, it looks like I should have taken the Emrakul. I was thinking that I wanted the Emrakul in my deck to hit with Aetherworks, but I guess that wasn't correct. Collected company for our opponent. Hopefully they can't kill our Aetherworks. Unfortunately, since our deck only has 1 red source... Oh, they just got the combo? Really? Oh, that's 2 combo pieces. Yeah, so we can get 1, 2, 3 energy next turn with what we have on board. But... And I guess one of those energy will draw us another card. Oh, man, I wish we had another red source. Another red source would make things so much easier. Oh, no. And our opponent has a Pride Mage. Things just keep getting worse. Oh, deck. Deck. We don't have Anger, though. We can't Anger because this deck only has 1 red source. We only have 1 red source, period. In our only 1 basic mountain in our deck. So we can't even Ghost Quarter ourselves to get another mountain. Because I think if I played this deck again, I would play more than 1 mountain. Oh, our opponent has it all. They have it all. The only good news is that theoretically, Anger of the Gods still gets us out of this if we draw a fetch land. So opponent passes. They're going to upkeep Quasali Pride Mage. And I don't think we can get the energy in time. Huh? They're going to upkeep Cord? Cordex 2. What's happening? Anafenza. Let's sack our Mind Stone. Get an energy. We would have gotten it, too. Yep. Well, that looks like the game. And we draw an Emrakul. Well, that was fun. We still would have been an energy short. And there's only one mountain in the deck. Oh, wow. The Anafenza was actually pretty bad for us. And one more card for the fetch land. Jeez. Well, I'm noticing some things I don't especially like about this deck. I mean, I guess the big question is there any reason to play this over a real, not real, but more common Breach deck? And I don't know if that's true. And if we do play it, definitely need to have another mountain, I think. Those angers are actually... We resolved 3 Attune with Ethers, and we... to search up lands, and we still couldn't cast Anger when we needed it. We only would have had... One of that energy came from Aetherworks Marvel going to the graveyard, so we would have only had 5 energy. And then when the Marvel died, we would have gotten a 6, but then we didn't have the Marvel to activate. So even if we Ghost Quartered ourselves, we're going to end up being 1 short. But you can't do anything while you're Legend ruling yourself, Jay Zoller. Since we had 2 Legends, you can't even activate Ghost Quarter or anything when you're choosing. You have to immediately choose, so... Unfortunately, there wasn't a window there. That would have been sweet. Can I please make an against the odds Mir tribal? Possibly. I'm thinking about changing up the against the odds poll a little bit. So I wonder what the thoughts are on this. So normally with against the odds, we do 2 standard options. We do 2 modern options and a legacy option, and then the top vote getter gets me into videos, the bottom 2 drop off. But I'm thinking of changing it up and sometimes having different themed polls. So that would give us flexibility to do some cool stuff like play a cycle of cards. We could put all 5 of a cycle and people could vote on that. Or do like a certain set, 5 cards from the same set. So I'm thinking about doing some more creative polls on against the odds. And part of the reason is standard is it fluctuates up and down so much. So we start off with, so we could do some cool themes like that. But like, I feel like standard, we don't get a new set for quite a while. And I think we're going to run out of good standard options. So this would relieve some of the pressure on that. So I think we might try some polls like that. Definitely give feedback on whether you like that idea or not. How did I start playing Magic? Luckily, 5 ticks to 10 ticks isn't that bad. 10 ticks would still be super cheap. Really? Mono Boggles? This is a... Oh, this league. This league. Alright, let's play Mind Stone. Pass the turn. Oh, God, this league. So I started playing Magic because one of my roommates, when I was in college, played Magic. And I saw him playing with his friends and so forth. He had like played Magic before and kind of stopped playing and then got all his cards like out of his mom's basement type of thing or something and started playing. So after a while I started playing with that play group and kind of just went from there. But that's how I originally started. Well, let's attune with Ether, get a forest, play a forest, play a Mind Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to pass and crack a Mind Stone. We want to find a Through the Breach or a Aetherworks Marvel. Probably Aetherworks Marvel since we have Emrakul in hand. Our opponent is doing awkward things, though. They're like main phase cracking Horizon Canopy because they don't have anything going on. The voting is in the Against the Odds articles on the site, so the next one will be up tomorrow. So make sure to check that out. But that's where you vote for Against the Odds. Yeah, I am becoming more skeptical of this deck as the league goes along. So let's sack our Mind Stone. Well, Ancient Stirrings. Gargadon ticks down. Alright, so let's attune with Ether. Get a Forest. Play the Forest. Play Ancient Stirrings. Oh, double Emrakul, but no Aetherworks Marvel. So we'll grab an Ether Hub. And then I guess we just play Wall of Roots, pass the turn. We can try it again next turn, sack our Mind Stone, hope that that works out. Will I ever do Much Abrew Affinity? So we'll definitely have a deck tech for it, and if people want to see it, then yeah. What I really want to see out of Modern is Sphinx's Tutelage. So we played the Turbo Fog deck that had Tutelage, right? Well, let's put a counter on it, sack our Mind Stone, draw a card. We've put a lot of non-Aetherworks Marvel cards to the bottom. 1, 2. Yeah, we're going to take the land here. I guess maybe shuffling is bad, but we have Ancient Stirrings now. The question is, is Emrakul even good enough anymore? And I don't know if the answer is necessarily yes. Assuming everything goes exactly according to plan. Gargadon ticks down. Ancient Stirrings. Oh, this... Oh, I swear this is the worst deck of all time. How do I obtain all my cards? So I had a big collection just from playing for a long time, but I also have the ability to borrow cards. Sure. So I think we're just essentially dead. 4, 5, 6. I guess we're not literally dead, but... Oh, man. This deck. Constant Disappointment would be a great name for this card. Ancient Stirrings is a great card, but I don't know about this deck. And the Emrakul, the stuff wasn't even on the bottom because we shuffled when our opponent pathed, so I don't know. But now I don't even think Daybreak Coronet 7, 8, 9. Opponent draws a card. We're most likely just literally dead. And we just don't have answers to things. Alright, that does it. Man, this this deck is so bad. Exclamation point deck or exclamation point deck list should do it. See ya, Horridic Drick. Well, we get Spellskite, we get Wear Tear, we get Angers, I guess. Oh my goodness. Go down to Wood Reaver's Puzzle Knot and Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, Spellskite is our best card. Go down to Gargadon, a World Spine Worm, a Toon. Try it like that. Whew. Alright. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is kind of close to being good. We're going to have our anger problems again, where we may not have mana for Anger of the Gods. Oh, this is so ridiculous. If you need to send me a deck list, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Sludge Metal, that's awesome. That's like the single best card you could open. That's so sweet. Well, I guess we take Emrakul. Hudson 2620, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for you. Yeah, we have serious anger issues in this deck. I'm going to take Emrakul here because last time I took Mind Stone and was punished for it. So this time I'm going to take Emrakul. I don't know if we really need Mind Stone. It does let us draw a card, and it does sacrifice. But we have Wall of Roots to ramp. The next to gods that the next against the odds that comes out tomorrow is already done. Recorded. Another green source, not a fetch land. So that's already done. But there'll be another article up tomorrow, so you'll have the ability to vote in that one. So keep an eye on that for tomorrow night. The next one is Midnight Oil, was the winner from last week. This is not against the odds. This is a deck from Pro Tour champion Sean McLaren. Master Kifa, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for Master Kifa. Oh, well, never mind. Now it looks like we might just win. Play it for us, pass the turn. God's Eye, colorless land. When it goes to the graveyard from the battlefield, you get a 1/1 spirit. So basically, you get to sacrifice it twice for... This stream isn't pre-recorded, Ram. Why do you think it's pre-recorded? You get to sacrifice it twice with Greater Gargadon. Is the big payoff there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If our opponent pays a life to cast a spell, they're dead to Emrakul. Come on, do it. Come on, you know you need that white mana. You want to cast another useless enchantment. Come on, opponent. You can do it. Yes! Because we're not gonna have the energy to activate it, and we're just gonna through the breach. I mean, I guess we could have cast it, but all right. So God's Eye. Jeez, we're lucky we had this Ether Hub, or we would not have the red mana for this. Well, we're going to kill the dreaded Boggles through the breach. Cast it. Emrakul. 4 Xaxes. Whoo! Yeah, this is the second match where we've had multiple angers in a matchup where they'd be awesome and just not been able to cast it. Alright, Big Mama Emrakul gets the job done against Boggles. Our opponent is going to sack. I don't know if they realize that they're at 15 life. And that the Annihilator is not what's killing them. It's the fact that they are at 15. I don't know if Nahiri's worth it. Do you think Nahiri's worth it? That's a good question. I figured, when I saw the deck list, I figured that Nahiri was for Stony Silence matchups where you take out Aetherworks, bring in Nahiri. Is it good enough against Boggles? I don't know if killing enchantments, maybe that's good enough? Huh. I don't know. What do I think about Panharmonicon allies in Modern? It sounds pretty sweet. It sounds really fun. The thing is, the problem is, if we bring in Nahiri, we almost have to take out Aetherworks Marvel. And when we take out Aetherworks Marvel, then Greater Gargadon is bad. Tune with Ether is horrible. And so many of our other cards get so bad. I kind of just want to run it back. Sideboard Mountain would be good. I mean, seriously, we could probably squeeze in one more main deck mountain somewhere. Alright, we're just going to run it back. We're just going to kill our opponent before they kill us. Or our opponent's going to mulligan to like 4. Hey, we actually have mana for Anger. Will it be quick enough is question 2. We also have Through the Breach, so if we just draw in Emrakul, we can do that. Opponent has the Slippery Boggle. Oh! Okay. New plan. Hopefully win with Emrakul. Get a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent, Razor Verge Thicket. And Ethereal Armor. And Hyena Umbra. So we're taking 4. If our opponent gets life gain, that's going to be an issue. We draw a Mind Stone. So Ether Hub, get an energy. And Mind Stone. Pass the turn. We're 2 turns away from Big Mama Emrakul. Ooh, a Run It Back shirt's a sweet idea. Unflinching Courage. 7. We might just be dead before we get to Emrakul. Aether Hub. We're dead to any enchantment. Oh, pass the turn. Yup, and that... Oh, my God. So what did we learn about Aetherworks Marvel in Modern? And so I wrote a thing for Brewers Minute saying that I thought Aetherworks Marvel was unplayable in Modern. And I'm pretty sure that I was right. After playing this match, I am very, very confident. I mean, the deck is really fun and it's really cool, but it kind of feels against the odds, and I'm really questioning how this is better than anything else. So the problem is, like, if you're going to cheat Emrakuls and so forth into play, is it really worth it to be playing a tune with Ethers and Wood Reavers Puzzle Knots? I don't know. So there's cool parts of it. I like some of the aspects. One of the things I try to do, and a great example of this was when we played the Kobolds deck, is when a deck isn't very good, or when I don't think it's very good, look for something that I like and try to use that in the future. And this deck has made me consider that I really like the possibility of Aetherworks Marvel working in Restore Balance, because it's another way to cheat Restore Balance into play. Restore Balance already wants Greater Gargadon because of Restore Balance. You're already ramping with random mana rocks that work with Restore Balance. So that's the takeaway I got from this, is I'm interested in exploring Aetherworks Marvel with Restore Balance in the future. So that is my takeaway. But as for this deck, maybe I was doing it wrong and it's awesome, and I'm sure Sean is way better than me at playing Magic. I mean, he's won a Pro Tour, so I don't want to come down on his deck, but I could not make it work, as this 1-4 record suggests. So I don't know. I wouldn't run out and buy this one right away. It seems questionable. So, well, the good news is we still have time, so it looks like we get to do a game or two of Momir. I don't believe there is anyone on the waiting list for Momir, as far as I am aware. If there is someone on the waiting list and I'm forgetting, speak now or forever hold your peace. I am the evil one. Sneaks in right away. I am the evil one is like awesome dude speed for getting into the match. So let's play some Momir. I gotta get the overlay up. A quick reminder. Our sponsor, Wizardry Foundry, has some really sweet stuff for Black Friday. So make sure to check out their website. They have some really cool Grimoire deck boxes. I actually got to do a review of them way before they were our stream sponsor, and I was really impressed. They're the kind of deck boxes that you wouldn't use on every deck. That was my impression of them, because they're fairly expensive and really high-end, but if you have like your favorite commander deck or your legacy deck, they are really heavy duty, really nice looking, and gonna protect your decks really well. So it's the kind of thing that it's worth having for special decks or decks that are worth a lot of money. You probably don't want to put your random draft deck in them just because they're on the high end, but so I definitely really like them for that. So check out their website. Also doing a giveaway, a raffle for a booster pack, so sign up for that too. Yep, I'm updating it. We have a new subscriber. It is the Curbinator. Welcome to the Fishbowl, Curbinator. 2 months in a row by the look, so thank you, thank you. And another one, Wolf Mist. Welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Let's give a big scoops cheer for Wolf Mist. Alright, so Momir time, everyone's favorite time of the stream. And we will keep. This hand cannot cast Anger of the Gods, but we'll deal with it. Swamp Goo. Let's see what the Moto Gods have in store for us tonight. Time for some random jankiness. Opponent starts with Mountain. Cons of Tarkir Mountain. I have this really in-depth and probably very incorrect theory about what the basic land someone plays says about them as a Magic player. I'll have to get into that sometime. I might write a scholarly paper on it, see if I can get it published in a journal. Psychologist, welcome to the Fishbowl, the 2-month resub. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Like, the psychology of basic land choices. Ooh. Foil Zendikar. Oh, there's nothing wrong with your basic lands, the evil one. Oh no! Plague Witch! Rex R. a Quarters Paladin. Alright, so play a mountain. I guess we're gonna attack. No, we're not. We're just gonna pass. If our opponent wants to discard cards to kill our Quarters Paladin, that's fine. Oh, thank you, Psychologist. Definitely appreciate it. If I play with Tempest Basics, does that mean I'm a serial killer? Possibly. I'd have to get the rest of your profile. Let's discard an island. Ooh, Instigator Gang. Unfortunately, it can't flip, but we have a lot of things that pumps our team. Unfortunately, we still can't really attack. Do I agree with LSV's assertion that full art Zendikar lands are the worst? So I don't agree with that. I don't think that they're the worst. I'm not a huge fan of full art Zendikar lands. I like some of them. Ooh, Pierce Strider. Nice. This was a card I considered for Panharmonicon in Modern. 6 life, colorless, works with Tron. Could be good. We're going to get a lot of Werewolf triggers. No, the worst land, I don't even know. I don't know what the worst are. Eon Chronicler, sweet when it's suspended, not so sweet when it's dying. Let's just keep staying back. I can disagree with LSV on some things. Opponent. So Eon Chronicler, power toughness equal to the cards in our hand, so it's gonna die. Opponent gets Halo Hunter. Oh god. That's actually very good. Just being a 6/3 Intimidate is gonna be very hard to beat. So does anyone know? Does anyone know what this card was printed to be an answer to? Halo Hunter. ESR 1028, welcome to the Fishbowl, and thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yeah? I don't think it ever worked, and I don't think it worked how anyone planned it to, but this was the Baneslayer answer. But it never really worked out the way they imagined. The Halo Hunter. Oh, seriously? You're right. I'm so wrong. Never mind. That makes no sense. That's like the ultimate troll. Oh, jeez. I guess that's a pun. Storytime pun. Zendikar was a long time ago. Glarecaster, next time damage would be dealt to it or you this turn, it's dealt to creature or player instead. Ooh, that's actually kind of powerful. Opponent gets a Salvage Titan. Sack 3 artifacts. Rather than pay its mana cost, exile 3 artifacts from your graveyard, return it to your hand. Yep, we're taking and beating. If you ever want to see a great deck tech, oh, geez, why can't I think of his name? Does anyone remember, this was a while ago now, a year or two ago now, there was a Salvage Titan deck that was played at a SCG Open in Legacy, and I can't think of the guy's name. He's just so funny and enthusiastic. It's Gregory Hatch. Yes, that is my all-time favorite deck tech anyone has ever done. Was Gregory Hatch doing his Salvage Titan deck tech? It is so good, so good. He's just so funny and enthusiastic. For some reason, it's been 2 years now, and I still remember that deck tech. Next time damage will be dealt to Glarecaster you this turn, dealt to creature. So we can leave up mana, but then we're not making any progress. Let's make a 7-drop. If we just hit a black thing, we can block that Intimidator. If we get desperate, we can play the White Source. Ancient Ooze. Ooh, alright, that's big. Well, let's get in with Glarecaster. We're still in danger of dying to Halo Hunter. Yeah, Gregory Hatch is just awesome. Yeah, if we had only hit Phage there, our life would be so much better. Gregory Hatch does play other sweet decks. He had the, like, some sort of blue flyer deck that was really interesting as well. Does he even play anymore? I have not seen him doing MTG-related stuff in a while. I almost think that he doesn't play competitively anymore. If he's, like, doing content or playing anything, you should let me know. Because I really enjoy him, but I haven't seen him in a while. The Noose Graph Mob. Just a 5/5 for 6. No one ever casts spells, so it's going to be hard for it to actually trigger. Let's see what our opponent does. Gets in 4/6 with Halo Hunter. Yep. Instigator Gang does not flip. Well, I guess we can take one more hit and make an 8-drop. First, we should do some attacking with our Ancient Ooze, because this Chronicler is going to die. So, get in with Ancient Ooze. Who would I use as my commander for Angel Tribal? The one from Commander is pretty awesome. Kalia of the Vast. That one's really powerful in an Angel deck. I think it partly depends on your colors, though, and the style of your deck, but I think Kalia is one of the default ones for building an Angel deck. Alright, well, Nicole Bolas, not awesome, but technically it keeps us from dying to Halo Hunter for a turn. Alright. Wow, that is a high cost to discard a card. I think I think we win now, actually, unless our opponent hits something big. Oh, we're going to have to chump with Halo Hunter, though. This is going to be interesting. Hey, see you, Splenny Lee? Yai? What do I think about Spectral Shift Mind Bend for against odds? Oh, so if you were here in the beginning, no Thursday stream. It's Thanksgiving. I got to do family stuff. So only one stream this week, but we will be back to normal next week with the regular schedule, Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. Ray of the Dawnbringer is a sweet angel leader if you want to be mono white. Definitely true. Do we ship products to Korea? We do, Floor Monitor. We ship worldwide for pretty much everything. Well, I mean, I believe so. As far as I know, we do. I believe we ship everywhere. I don't think there's any reason we can't ship to Korea. So can we block in a way? We got a block here. Block here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Block there. And then I think we win. I think this works. I think we drop to 1. What was the question, Vort? Repost it. Do we ship to North Korea? I don't know. Is that legal? We ship to every normal place you can ship to, but we ship worldwide. So let's get in with Glarecaster. Glarecaster is actually pretty sweet in this situation. Boros Angels with the new Avacyn. Yeah, I know Tomer was a big fan of that. He played Avacyn and was really impressed with Avacyn as a commander. Alright, on to game 2. Yeah, anywhere that isn't under U.S. embargo. That sounds correct. I don't know. I know we ship everywhere. I actually don't do the shipping. Richard does all that, so I haven't looked into if there's specific countries we can't ship to, so. Could use big Avacyn in mono white. Do I think they'll ever ban Stormcrow? You never know. What format would Stormcrow be banned in? Say they had a format where only cards with the creature type crow were allowed to be played. I still think that Stormcrow would probably not be banned. I Am the Evil One knows a lot about places you can't ship to. I am very impressed. So it looks like the list is probably Iraq, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Chad, and Cuba. But Chad may be off the list. So that's good advice there. Let's make a 2-drop, see what happens. Something that makes mana? Maybe? Yes! Mana producer, we got there! Oh, so we get to start ramping. That's so sweet. Yeah, Cuba, things are changing with Cuba. That's true. Are magic cards allowed there now? Again, idea for against odds. Panharmonic Con Omnithrag Fire in Modern. Oh my goodness. That does sound interesting. Nivix Guildmage, draw a card, discard a card. It's just a 2-2, so it doesn't really do anything. Well, we get to jump the curve, start making 4-drops, which is spectacular. Yeah, Heartworn is awesome. Any mana producer is awesome. We get Serum Raker. When it dies, each player discards a card. Omnidor Thragfire. Yeah, that deck was something. That was a Woo deck, right? I'm pretty sure. From a while ago now. Always wondered why Saffron Olive. Well, lots of people do. So we actually have a command, so you can hear the story of Saffron Olive. Teferi's Drake, flying and phasing. I am assuming that if a token phases out, it can't phase back in. That's got to be how that works. So we get to make a 5-drop, discard a swamp, get Woebringer Demon. We had this last stream. All right, pass the turn. That's awkward. Oh, it phases out right away, so our opponent has to sack their only creature. Woo! Exclamation point, Saffron Olive tells the story. What do I think of a format which is Legacy, but with all the tier decks banned? I have no idea. It probably wouldn't be very fun. If you're going to ban all the cards from all the tier decks, it definitely would not be very fun. We're just going to sack Woebringer. Because it's going to die in our opponent's upkeep anyway, so we might as well just sack it. Our opponent was kind of locked behind it, though. They would have had to just sack their only creature every turn if they kept making creatures. So we get to make a 6-drop. Havengul Scab. When it attacks, return another creature we control to our owner's hand. That's pretty bad. Every deck better than my deck is banned. It is possible. So you can play Momir in paper. The trick is it's slightly different. I'll explain the story in a second. It's slightly different in paper. I haven't told the story in a while, actually, because it wouldn't be truly random. But what you do is like make a pile of 1-drops, a pile of 2-drops, pile of 3-drops, and then basically just shuffle them up like a normal deck of Magic cards. And whenever someone makes a creature that converted mana costs, they just grab the top card off of the right pile. So that would be the way to do it. Yeah, iPhones would work as well. And like just, I don't know, proxies, write in Sharpie the name of the card you got. That's a good one. Graz's Old Plague Queen. So we are going to win just by having flyers, I think. So the story of Saffron Olive, I haven't told it in a while, so I will tell it again. So when I was in college, I had this old drunken Vietnam veteran neighbor who, from the very first time he met me, called me Saffron, even though my name's Seth. So I don't know why he called me Saffron. I have no idea. What does this do? 2 target creatures can't block. That's not relevant. So he called me Saffron. And then eventually my friends started calling me Saffron, and it just kind of stuck and was kind of my nickname. And then I played in a band named Olive Drab and the Etcetras. And one of the gimmicks, it was like a 60s kind of band. One of the gimmicks was everyone's last name was Olive. So I became Saffron Olive on the band stuff. So that's where Saffron Olive came from. And then I randomly used that as my name on Reddit when I joined. And Reddit is where I was first got in contact, or Richard got in contact with me about MTG Goldfish. So that became my MTG Goldfish username and so forth when I started writing there, and it just kind of stuck. I play keyboard and also guitar/bass. Because that's how I started making Magic content, that's how I started making Magic content. No, so the story of me meeting Richard is actually kind of random. But I was just randomly doing like EV breakdowns and stuff like that on the MTG Finance subreddit. And MTG Goldfish at that time was just a price site. That's all it was. All right, one more Momir game. Next challenge. If you want to play Momir, this is your chance. So So I was writing just like some of the stuff that I still do today, EV breakdowns from sets and stuff like that on the MTG Finance subreddit. And I got a message from MTG Goldfish on Reddit, and I knew what MTG Goldfish was, but I knew it was just a price site where you could look up MTGO prices, and I used it for that. And someone beat you, Good Pants. Third tail. You're at the top of the list for next time, Good Pants, if you are around. So I got a message from MTG Goldfish that was like, hey, thinking about adding articles to the site. It's going to have better tools. I like the stuff you've been writing at Reddit. Like, you have more tools to work with writing articles. Do you want to try writing some articles? I was like, I don't know really if this is real. So I didn't even really respond at first. And then like a few days later, I got another one like, hey, I wrote you this. I just wanted to see if you were interested. So I wrote back. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try it. And wrote my first article, I think almost exactly 2 years ago now. My first big article, I think, was a Commander 2014 finance review. I think there was one little MTGO article, was the very first article I ever wrote on Goldfish. But it was a financial review of Commander 2014. And that's how it all started. So pretty random. What are the odds? Will I play guitar piano if we reach a certain number of subs? Ooh. Well, maybe. I don't have a piano where I live now, but I could potentially play guitar. That would be interesting. I don't play as much as I used to. I'm so busy with Magic stuff now. I still play for fun a bit here and there, but ooh, each creature attacks this turn if able. That could be good. Yeah, sorry, Good Pants. You're on the fun on the top for next time. What is more fun between playing music and playing Magic? I don't know if I can really answer that. Skrakatog? I said 2 cards from a graveyard, second artifact, pump it up. I love music, and I really enjoy playing music, but I also feel that way about Magic, so I don't know if I can really compare the two and say one is actually better than the other. All-time favorite band, beginning your end step. Yes! Oh man, we are on a hot streak with the Mana Dorks tonight. Sunseed Nurture. All-time favorite band is probably Velvet Underground. Gotta give respect to Velvet Underground. I really enjoy their music, and if it wasn't for Velvet Underground, a lot of other bands that I like would probably never have existed. Celestial Kirin. When you cast a Spirit Arcane spell, destroy all permanents with the spell's converted mana cost. Can you get the gods in Momir? That's an interesting question. I'm actually not sure. Maybe? I think they are creatures. Oh, well, welcome, Woods Bandit. I'm glad you watched the videos. That's sweet. Thank you. Floor monitor. Yeah, that's about it. If only Lou Reed played Magic. Who knows what his songs would have been about. You can get the gods? I was trying to think. I don't know if I've ever actually got one. Alright, pitch and I. What do we hit? Spinal Parasite? Artifact creature Sunburst enters the battlefield. Remove 2 counters from Spinal Parasite. Oh, okay. So it just does. It just immediately dies. Alright, pass the turn. We're actually, even after hitting a Mana Dork, we're kind of in bad shape. Can you not hear me? I did it again. People say they can't hear me, and I ask them if they can hear me, which doesn't make any sense. Try refreshing. If you can't hear me, try refreshing. Pass it along. A Djinn of Wishes for our opponent. That is a lot of big flyers. Yep, well, we're going to take our beats. Oh, well, thank you, Nimb. And if you're a Pauper fan, you've probably seen Jake's videos, so I will pass that along to him as well, since he's the main Pauper person. I've done a few Pauper videos, but he's the main Pauper people player. Oh, sorry, Jogger Micro. Usually we do a league, and then if we have extra time, we wrap up the stream with Momir, because there's some people that really like it. I think I tweeted about this a while ago. Your question about asking the dead patient how are you doing made me think of it. There was an ad in one of my local papers that was asking people to be organ donors. Waffle Zone, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for the resubscription. Let's give a big scoops here for our resubscriber. We need something good, not good enough. All right, on to game 2. So the local paper had an ad saying they needed more organ donors, and it had a little write-up about how people's concerns about being organ donors and how you shouldn't be worried about them. And one of them said that don't worry, essentially don't worry, you can always... they said some people worry that their organs will be removed while they're still alive, and they said don't worry, you can object at any time and tell your doctor to stop at any time. So it kind of defeats the purpose, I think, of that whole idea. And I think I told that story wrongly. It was funnier in my head. Anyway, Mocha 1227, welcome to the Fishbowl. Also, Shrimp Watch, welcome you as well. 2 new subscribers. Big scoops cheer for both of our new subscribers. Is there any plan for more video-oriented legacy content on PG Goldfish, similar to Jake's Playing Pauper, but for legacy? So, Stryfo, hopefully, yeah, that was a story, punt, Fat Robot. I knew, I don't know if you could tell, but about like 3 sentences into that story, I was like, oh no, I know this is not going to work out the way that I had planned. So that was interesting. We're just finishing up the stream with some Momir. We have another new subscriber, Loco in Vegas. Welcome to the Fishbowl. And thank you so much for your subscription. Let's give a big scoop cheer for Loco in Vegas. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp. And it is possible, we were talking about that earlier, Draga Disciple, to play Momir and Paper. It's complicated. Stacks of cards and so forth. Discard a card, target player gains 3 life, the Tonic Peddler. Yeah, I think it would be a little cumbersome, but it is possible. Started with Pummeler Poisonless, in fact, built a deck, ran it a while, they started homebrewing out of it. I've been streaming most of the changes on what becomes Super Brew series, had 60 viewers, a few hours, brewing some fun stuff. Awesome, Woods Bandit! I always love hearing people brewing, so that's super cool. More brewing content is awesome. We need more people out there that are brewing and having fun that way. So much Magic content, and it's great, but so much of it comes from, like, this meta pro perspective. So I like brewing content and stuff like that. Could I suggest a Pauper against the odds? That could be interesting. Am I making full-time content now? I've been seeing a lot more from me recently. Yes, I am making full-time content. I am the content manager, MTG Goldfish. So that means full-time content producer. I mean, and other stuff. Full-time MTG Goldfish employee. But a lot of my job... Oh, Modcatcher is so good, but not in Momir. A lot of my job is making content. Should play Waterfalls in Legacy. I don't know what that is. These basics are from Onslaught. I really like this, the Hut Plains. For some reason, this is one of my favorite planes. Penny Dreadful against the odds. So I was actually on a Reddit thread about Penny Dreadful just recently, and I realized that the problem I have with Penny Dreadful is I don't have an easy way to search cards that are legal in the format. A lot of my deck building comes from like on Magic Online or on Gatherer, where you can filter by certain things. But is this sweet? Yeah, it's +3/+3 for each opponent whose life total is less than half of their starting life total. And then it becomes indestructible? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yes, I saw that someone responded, and I have to check out that site. But that's why I haven't... That's why I haven't done any real content with that, is I haven't had an easy way to filter cards for the format. I have gotten Legend Ruled, and Wood Bandit, I will try to keep an eye out if I'm... yeah, we're going to take this hit. Yeah, I'll try to keep an eye out if I see you streaming and stop by and say hey. MTG Goldfish is a site that could do that easily. Momir exists in paper, but it is relatively hard to do, because you have to have a whole bunch of different cards at each converted mana cost, or play with like proxies or something so you can use an online site to get random cards. When it enters a battlefield or when it dies, return a creature to your hand. We basically got to get our opponent down below half of their starting life total. And this will be a 7/7 flying indestructible. Torpod Malik for Pauper. I'd have to read about what that is. I think it's for each opponent who's below half of their starting life total. So it doesn't actually trigger for us. Really? Opponent gets to draw cards like crazy. Oh, Lord. I would have blocked there, but I had this big. Okay. I think we're losing this. We need a good hit here. 4/7. Not Phage. Something better than Phage. Not really Boonweaver Giant either. So we block. Well, I guess we can keep attacking. We're not in that horrible of shape, really. This only pumps... Now, this thing's actually miserable. Yes! We needed our opponent to whiff. Opponent has to sack 5 lands if they want to keep it alive. Almost never a good idea. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do this. And then they have to play an island to get it to untap. Wow! Alright. That is a first. In all my games of Momir, I've never seen that happen. Opponent goes with the big attack. So we block. Opponent gets in for 2. We get to haunt. Doesn't really do anything. Alright, well, we need a good 8-drop. If our opponent has an island in hand or drew into one, that's actually really bad. Unless we... Ooh. Alright, that works. If damage will be dealt to me, it's dealt to Archangel instead. So that means our opponent needs 2? That means we survive the first Chocolate Mortar hit. And our opponent actually needs another island to untap it if they attack with it. And then we also get to bounce this Misthoof, or kill this Misthoof. Is this actually going to work? We lose our angel. Opponent makes a 3-drop. Harmonic Sliver. Alright, we get an 8-drop. Something good. So our opponent plays an island. They untap. 12 means 8. They attack with everything and we lose. What do I think of Spectral Shift for against the odds? I actually have to look up that card. I'm not sure what Spectral Shift is. Change the text on target spell or permanent, replacing all instances of one basic land type with another. So I actually had an idea for this, where we could play mono blue Valakut and change the text on Valakut to say island instead of mountain, and just like play counter spells and cryptics and play islands. Astral Side is so sweet. That's such a fun card. I don't know if it can work in Legacy, though. I think we're dead. I mean, we're dead to an island. So I think we attack. Get in. We have our 7/7 Indestructible. Hope our opponent does not have an island. Opponent has an island, and that's the game. Whoo! So this thing is 12/12 trample for 7 mana. However, it enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you gotta sack it, or you gotta sack 5 lands. It doesn't untap, and you have to play an island to untap it. So it's like a really big but weird and bad finisher for a mono blue deck. Normally, when I've seen people hit this, they just immediately sacrifice it. But Third Tail, and good game to you, Third Tail, correctly kept it alive and went all in on it, and it worked out. We were close. We were actually pretty close. If we had hit a bigger creature here, we might have been able to trade with it, and then we probably would have won if we got something with 8 power, but anyway, one more shout out to our stream sponsor, Wizardry Foundry, who, of course, preparing for Black Friday. Check out their collection at a huge discount, 50% off. Oh, all right. Good Pants, are you online? One more Momir, and then we're done for our Thanksgiving break. Oh, yep. But while I'm waiting for our last match, might as well do our reminders now. MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube, where you can find old streams, including this stream in the future. And also, well, send me a challenge, Good Pants. We will do our game tonight. And also, check out the merch page, sign tokens, all that fun stuff. T-shirts, playmats, another great way to support the stream and the site. Is This or That coming out Friday? I think This or That is going to be... I think This or That is going to be a bi-weekly series. Yeah, let me look at the link. Alright, let's try that one more time. See if the link is actually working. Ah, there we go. Apparently, Nightbot likes to jam things together. So, there's the correct link. Check out the Sweet Collection for Black Friday. Got some good discounts on some cool dice, some cool Grimoire deck boxes. So, very sweet. The Pro Tour edition. Also, the Primeval 3rd edition. Bunch of different cool stuff. So, check them out. Thank you to them for their support. When do I normally record Commander Clash? There have been some pretty sweet deck submissions for this week. Or have there been? So, we normally record on Wednesdays. I can try 2 Good Pants. Is your MTGO name Good Pants? Oh, alright. I see. Not Good Pants. See ya, the third trail. Thanks for the game. I don't know if it, oh, there you are. Okay. I see. We're getting there. Oh, you missed a really rough league with the green-red Etherworks Marvel deck in Modern. Etherworks Marvel, Through the Breach, Emeralds, and so forth. So you missed that, but you didn't miss much there. You also missed a couple games of Momir. Some sweetness like that. Alright, one more game of Momir. So we did get some really sweet deck submissions. I believe that the viewer submitted ones should be coming out this Friday, I think. So we'll keep. And swamp for our opponent. And gonna go on the 1-drop plan. Looks like 1-drop is Sky Shroud Ridgeback. So a 2/3, but it's going to fade away. You can submit them however you want, really, in the comments on the YouTube channel, which, if you're not subbed to, you probably should. But you can submit them in the comments to the Commander Clash articles on there, just a deck list link. You can also do it on Twitter to me or Tomer, Richard, any of our Twitters, or just email them. So all those are possibilities for submitting decks. This week's viewer submitted decks are already done, already recorded, but it's a reoccurring theme because people really like submitting decks, and they're fun episodes to play with other people's decks, so we'll do it again before super long. Shepherd, going to do a lot of triggering, but not do a lot of anything else. We get to make a 2-drop. And then we'll hopefully be getting to Commander 2016 commanders and conspiracy commanders and all that fun stuff. Discard a card, switch the power and toughness of Aquamoeba. Good in Madness, but no Madness in Momir. Opponents getting a bunch of triggers, stuff's fading away. Opponent plays a swamp. I do like drawing lots of cards, Mechanical Taco. Yeah, good for Hellbent, good for Madness, things like that. It's actually pretty powerful. Pay 3, put a -1/-1 counter on something, you can tap or untap it. Interesting. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we'll block. That's true, Vloopy. Momir is definitely mad, but there's no actual Madness cards. Alright, play a swamp and discard a forest. 3-drop is a 1/4. Jeez, our deck is looking so defensive. Hey, well, welcome, Spain Man. Oh, the green-red Marvel deck was very, very bad. Whew. So bad. Actually, ended up 1-4. So yeah, it was pretty rough. Basic land with Madness would be sweet. Well, opponent gets 4 free damage. Unfortunately, they lose their Archwing at the end of turn. My deck is all lands. That's how it works in... Actually, I should kill that probably, but I'm going to kill this because that trigger is driving me insane. This is probably more of a problem over the long term, but... Alright, get rid of this trigger. Ugh. Archwing Dragon bounces back to our opponent hand. I'm having Odyssey Block limited flashbacks. Yeah, that is where Aquamoeba's from. Also was in, what, Vintage Masters? One of the Masters sets. Hemalite Golem. Man, we are 1-4 tribal, I swear to God. We got a 1-3, a 1-4, and a 1-4, moving our way up the curve of horribleness. Yeah, Dick, maybe it's better than it showed in our matches, but in our matches, it went super bad. It was just not good at all. Any advice for getting into Magic content? In my experience, it's just a matter of doing it. If you want to get into Magic content, start making Magic content. Posting it. I started writing Magic content on Reddit, posting stuff on the MTG Finance subreddit. Way madness! We got the combo. It's a little more expensive than we were hoping for. We'd rather discard this and cast it with Madness with our Aquamoeba, but we got there. Yeah, we're still going. We're in our last match of Momir. So that's my advice, because that's how it worked for me. Is just do it, whether you have the support of oh god, that's game. Whether you have support of a site or not, whether you're getting paid for it or not, start your own blog, get it out there on Reddit, however you can. And I think that's the first step. That would be my best advice. Because if you do it and oh lord, beginning of each player. Beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps it, gains control of it whenever it attacks. Creatures of the chosen type. We don't have anything of the same type. Well, I guess we swing with it. Yeah, winning a Pro Tour doesn't hurt either. I've never had Corona in Momir. Oh, alright. So we get in for 8, maybe. Opponent might jump. But then Vraska is just going to eat away everything. Open the KTK pack, got Foil, Clever Impersonator, and a Flooded Strand. That is an awesome pack. Oh my goodness. Holy. Oh, thank God. Oh, our opponent blocked with Vraska. Oh my God. Oh my lord. Vraska, I am glad that is off the table. Because Vraska is very scary. So I am glad we don't have to deal with that. Let's play a mountain. Make a 7-drop. Tap and untap snow covers land. Oh, alright. That art though. What's going on there? Unfortunately you can't play snow covered basics. Oh, Viscera, Vraska, close enough. What's the most value I've ever pulled from a booster pack, paper, or online? Online, probably drafting Vintage Masters, opening Power 9 cards. which I think were like 150 ticks when they first came out, maybe somewhere in that range. So online, I think it's something with Vintage Masters. Although I remember opening, this isn't the most valuable, but this one really stuck out to me is when I was kind of just getting into Magic Online more seriously back in Rise of the Eldrazi. I opened a Gideon and it was like 45 ticks, and that was pretty sweet. So for some reason, opening original Gideon sticks out as one of my favorite opens for some reason. In paper, I don't know. Maybe it might be the foil Caracas from the Vintage Masters. I don't really open that much sealed product, so it's probably the foil Caracas from Eternal Masters. Alright, we can't really attack, unfortunately. Yeah, it's because of Redemption, Amgo Stomp. They're really expensive for Redemption, because the fetch lands are not actually very expensive. So the prices on foils are weird for redeemable sets. Deals 3 damage to each creature without flying. Ha ha ha! Never been happier to have 1/4s. Got a Noxious Ghoul and a Masterpiece Cloudstone Curio. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's basically just to boost up the foil set price, I think, is the main thing. Well, I don't care much about these 1/4s anymore, so let's double block. I got a deck and a foil Mana Crypt from the same pack. Whoa! This is a band called the Freak Fandango Orchestra. Bona passes. We get to make another 8-drop. Hopefully it's better than Vexing Scuttler. Ugh. What's up, Floza? Oh, man! Jeez. 2 emerge creatures in a row. 8-drops have gotten worse in Momir with the emerge creatures. Ooh, foil Kaya's sweet though. The cool thing about opening an expensive card though is you could sell it and geez, another Boonweaver. You could sell it and use that to get cards that you did want. Oh, sweet, Amongo Stomp. Yeah, that list was sweet. I liked it. It had a lot of the same things I was thinking of with Panharmonicon and Tron. Bona gets in with the flyer. We drop down to 10. Now it's a 2-turn clock if we don't hit anything. Bona passes. We discard a swamp. Get a Kuruma Angel of Vengeance. So that's good. So let's attack with everything. I think that might have swung things back into our favor. 5 boxes of Kaladesh and not a single Masterpiece. That is a little disappointing. I think you're running a little bit below average. Most expensive Masterpiece, Soul Ring maybe? I would have to double check. In the dark, I think it's Soul Ring. Maybe Mana Crypt. Opponent gets Dusk Feaster. And that's an ambitious attack. Does this have trample? It does. Alright. So I think we just win here. Yeah, the 100 treasure chest opening was awesome. I was really happy that I got to do that, and I'm amazed that we got so lucky. Like, we ran pretty far above average. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Oh, man, Blood Moon Masterpiece. Nah, I would love that. Hopefully we get a Blood Moon Masterpiece. I opened 7 Kaladesh boxes, got a Soul Ring and an Ether Vial. Those are hits. So do you think you came out ahead altogether because of that? Like, did that make up for the rest of the boxes? Drain Pipe of Vermin. The little rat that could. I only opened 2 Kaladesh boxes. Did not get an Expedition. All those Commander 2016 cards must have been really good cards for Commander Clash. Yeah, the Commander 2016 cards are going to be awesome for Commander Clash. Unfortunately, they are incredibly expensive at the moment because they're only getting in the program through treasure chests. So they are super costly. Akum Stone Waker. I opened a pack, pulled new Chandra and Masterwork Torrential. Nice. That's a good one. Yeah, I know, Floza. Yeah, that was the best part, was Blood Moon into the Masterpiece. But seeing those two things next to each other made me think of Masterpiece Blood Moon and make me want that. But I knew what you were saying. I just really want Masterpiece Blood Moon now. So opponent gets the whole 0-3 Wilderness Elemental. We have no non-basics in Momir, so can't really do anything. Now let's play a Swamp. Get a land. What does this do? Makes a 3-1 with Trample and Haste. I opened a box of Kaladesh and got a non-foil dual deck Chandra? Huh? No. You gotta be kidding. Yeah, we're not gonna make anything. We're just gonna make a 3-drop. That can't be possible. Dual deck, you got a non-foil dual deck Chandra in a Kaladesh box? I don't think that's possible. So we get Goblin Flectomancer. Change the target of an instant or sorcery. Not super relevant. Opponent gets Kragma Butcher. That's pretty awesome, though. If that's really true, that's insane. I didn't know that was a thing that could happen, but that's really exciting. Favorite pull back in the day, opened a fat pack of Onslaught and got Foil Chroma, traded it for a full Tier 1 standard deck. Wow. Was Foil Chroma, that must have been pretty expensive back then. I don't believe there are non-foil ones, at least that I'm aware of. Found a new card. Kitsune Lore Weaver. What does Kitsune Lore Weaver do? Annabot Spear Crafter. We need more Minotaurs. The deck was super bad. We are pumping our opponent's Kragma Butcher. The deck went 1-4, and we died really... Our matchups were super uninteractive. We played Boggles twice. Our very first match, our entire match went maybe 5 turns, and we died to Goryo's Vengeance, like a really all-in version of Goryo's Vengeance. So it was super fast and super over the top. I saw a picture of a pre-release card that was stamped DTK Hand of Slumguard. I don't know if it was fake. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be some sort of printing error. It's just crazy, and I bet it might actually be really valuable. I wasn't mean to be like, oh, that didn't happen, or like that. Wizards definitely does have weird printing errors. So it's I don't think it's impossible. It's just unexpected. Alright, let's just double block this thing. Wait, is this 3? Never mind. Let's just single block. I believe you, Deep Blue. I wasn't meaning to come across as I didn't believe you, if that's how it sounded. Because that crazy stuff does happen. That's just like gotta be 1 in a million or something. So that's a really awesome open. Ooh, Master of Cruelties. Could be good. If we never get in a hit with it, it's insane. Master of Cruelties. Well, I guess I'm just more trusting than the chat. Whenever it attacks a player and isn't blocked, the player's life total becomes 1, and it assigns no combat damage. Opponent gets Giant Ambush Beetle. Can make a creature block it. It's definitely awesome on defense. Oh no, no, don't do that, opponent. No. First strike, death touch. That's not gonna go how you wanted. Oh, sorry. Sorry in advance. But you're making me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to. There's no choice. Oh. Alright. Man, if we had something to get rid of this Wildfire Elemental, that would be insane. Play a Swamp. I hate this Stonewaker. Unnecessary trigger that I'm never going to use. We'll pitch our Swamp. What do we get? Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! We did it! We did it, boys and girls! Yes! Oh, we hit a removal spell! Oh, 1 in a million! Oh my god! Whoa! That might be the greatest game of Momir. Oh, Master of Cruelty is into Foundry Champion, the 1 blocker. Yes! Oh. Well, I think that does it. The odds of hitting a 6-drop removal spell so slim. Sorry for your ears. I get a little excited when stuff like that happens. Oh, that was so good. Opponent gets Sagu Mauler, which is sweet, but I don't think it can hold up to what we got going on. Crook Claw gets in. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. I am very happy about that. And now I think we can actually make a token for the win, so let's do it that way. Boom. Oh, get in there with our elemental token. Trample and haste. Sweet. Well, good game. Good game. Good Momir. We got in a lot of Momir tonight. I don't open many expeditions, so. Did I ever try Master of Cruelty's Alicia Modern combo deck? I did not. That sounds pretty sweet, though. And Sam Black makes awesome decks, so I'll have to look it up and maybe I'll try it. Well, yeah, Stonewalker, getting it done. Waker. Anyway, everyone, don't forget, the Replay YouTube is where you can check out all the old streams, the merch channel, which, well, thanks for the match, Good Pants. It was still fun. I know the feeling with punts, so don't be too hard on yourself. No matter how many punts you have, I have punted on stream way more times than you, and probably any other streamer ever throughout the history of time. And of course, one more for our sponsor, Wizardry Foundry. Check out their collection, 50% off for Black Friday. So remember, everyone, no stream on Thursday. It is Thanksgiving, so I got to do family stuff and so forth. Oh wait, is this the Chandra? Right as I'm leaving? Oh wait, that's Hand of Slumgar. That's not Chandra. That's Hand of Slumgar. Alright, everyone, have an awesome Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. We got all the normal content coming out, Against Odds tomorrow, all the fun stuff, and we'll be back Thursday with another one. You all are awesome. Thank you for the subs and just for hanging out. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving and a great weekend, and I will talk to you all soon.